find out more on the dollar and that meeting from Larry Brickman, currency strategist at Bank of America. Hey, Larry, good to see you here.
Good to see you. Hello.
All right, any surprise from your perspective with how the dollar is reacting today? And tell us, big picture, what this means coming out of G7 this weekend.
Well, I don't think there's really any big surprise what happened with the dollar today. The statement initially sounded a bit more strong than people thought, but in the end, in the final analysis, it's a pretty weak statement, really. The Europeans got a little bit about excess volatility, but there's no specific mention that the dollar has fallen too far, and thus I think the dollar is still going to fall further. So it's not really a statement to reverse the falling dollar.
Larry, where do the fundamentals stand relative to the euro versus the dollar? From our vantage point, the currency with the strongest economy normally wins.
Right.
The dollar continues to slide. Is that just a reversion of a bubble? And the gains in the dollar from, you know, the equity market bubble building?
It's a reversion from the bubble, but it's also the fact that, don't forget, a lot of times currencies play off interest rate differentials. We have a 1% interest rate, Fed funds rate, and the ECB has theirs at 2%. So we have that interest rate differential, which is playing in the Eurozone's favor. And we also have, you know, dual deficits in the U.S., and we have a foreign FX policy by the Bush administration that really wants a weak dollar, even though their official mantra is still strong dollar.
All right, let me go to you for a moment in Boston. Is there going to be any impact on the stock market today based on that meeting?
Well, no, I think there's a couple of things that happen here. Obviously, the communique comes out. It's a relatively nebulous commentary. It's very difficult to tie that down. And I think when you get things like the jobs numbers that we saw on Friday, I think that probably plays a whole lot bigger piece or part in this dollar puzzle right now. And I think what happens is you say, okay, the Fed is on the sidelines now for as long as, you know, for at least as long as we thought they were the second half of this year. As long as that's the case, it's very difficult to make an argument for a dollar that firms up here. So I think we're range bound at the lower end of the range in the dollar versus the euro for a while until we certainly see either an increase in jobs creation in the U.S. economy or some hints of inflation, either one of those things triggering the Fed to tighten rates a bit.
Would you have the same assessment, Larry?
I do, but I do think that the dollar will actually start to rise again towards the middle of the year, the end of the year, when we do see the Fed hinting more and more that they will raise rates. So I do agree with that, and I predict that the dollar will start to rise by mid-year.
All right, Larry Brickman, currency analyst, Bank of America. Thanks for joining us as we kick off the roundtable. Appreciate it.
Thank you.